All right, guys, let's cut the intro. Let's jump right into it. You're probably wondering what's going to go down tonight. What do you mean you can't hear me? Everyone can hear me. You can hear me. I can hear me. Everybody can hear me. All right, night. All right, guys. So this is it. It's starting. It's happening right here, right now. The ban list went live. The ban list technically went live, like, give or take 8 or so hours ago. But I was at work. This is what happens when you have a job, and then Konami decides to drop it out at the most inconvenient time. And now I had to religiously avoid every freaking social media platform, including YouTube and all the other mobile everything in the freaking world. So that way you don't get a spoiler, you know, like. Just as people can spoil movies, people can spoil the ban list. So I religiously stay cleared from all of it so that I can bring to all of you the live reaction, the raw reaction of this ban list. Now, we are currently live on Twitch, and we are also recording for YouTube. So if you missed tonight's show, that's okay. You can always catch it in the channel link below, as well as Twitch. If you always want to see the stuff when it's happening live, link in the description below. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into this ban list. Bam! You see what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. I like literally religiously avoided every and any and all signs of potential spoilers, right? So I've got my camera that's like kind of blocking my way, but that's okay. I'm just going to bring it a little bit closer. My head might be off, might get chopped off at the top, but that's okay. We're jumping right into this right here, right now. Oh, I'm so excited and pumped. We get to find out what the next and last 4 months is going to look like with this format, with this original master rule of 4, MR4, before the new or the revised rules come into play. All right, here we go. We're scrolling down all of the how to read the ban list kind of instructions. All right, here we are. We're going into the list. Nothing so far. Bam. What? They banned hardcore. They just outright got rid of the card. It wasn't even any, like, everyone had this theory that, oh, you know, you should bring it down to 1. Bring it down to 2, maybe 1. No, I was just like, we're just going to outright get rid of the freaking card. Oh my God. But okay, guys. Wait. Hold on. This doesn't essentially mean that the Orcas is out for the count, you know. There are definitely interesting and more like insane and unique ways of still being able to work with Orcas, especially with the new Orcas, the Mech Knight Orcas, whatever that card, Gearsu, whatever that card's name, coming out. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower. But I think it's still kind of like the balancing mechanic, because now they don't really have anything like that card doesn't give you any real advantage while it's in the grave. All the advantage is when it's summoned, basically. And if you summon it to a zone that has 2 or more cards in the same column, I'm already out of breath. Say 2 or more in the same column, it becomes a tuner. So I definitely see like zombie Orcas still being a thing, like maybe with light sworns. I don't know. That's something you get to kind of wait and see how creative people are gonna get. Kind of bear in mind that this ban list goes live in a couple of days, Monday, for those of you guys who probably don't know. I'm pretty sure all of you guys will know by now, but they just outright got rid of hardcore. That's amazing. Well, sad days for all you Orcas players out there, but I'm pretty sure everyone kind of saw that one coming. Let's see, nothing. Yes, this is absolutely, oh my God, the greatest thing is happening. They got rid of Colossus. I've been saying this countless of times. Any card that basically says your opponent can't do anything during their turn should be a card that doesn't exist or shouldn't exist in the game. They got rid of Colossus just outright. But I mean, Thunder Dragons is, again, it's just another archetype that's not completely out for the count, because Titan is still one beast of a card. So that's going to be the new boss monster they're going to be counting on, especially going into the new format. And bear in mind that we're probably going to have another ban list before the new rules kick in. So let me see when's the new next ban list. March. It's not even that far away. It's not even that far away. It's 3 months. Holy cow! 2.5 months actually, because we're already almost halfway through. We're not. No, we are halfway through the month of. Oh, I went too far ahead. We are halfway through the month of January. So this is basically 2 months, 2.5 months before the next ban list. This is absolutely insane. These we all thought, oh, you know, this next ban list is probably not going to do a lot because there's only going to be 4 months before the MR5. Or I did it. I've done it. I've called it MR5. I'm so disappointed in myself. The new master rules. Holy cow! They're Electromite is out of the game. What? That makes no sense to me. Why is Electromite out of the game? Electromite literally was keeping pen magicians into the mix. Or not even pen magicians, just keeping pendulums in the fight. Like, oh man, I feel really bad too because I just traded away my Electromite. You know, lucky for me, unlucky for the guy that picked it up from me. Because the card held value. It was $15 still. Oh man, what a sad life. Jeez, I didn't even think they were gonna do anything for the pendulums, but there you have it. There you have it. Holy cow! They're really just hitting everything that's been existing for the last 2 years, basically. Summon Sorceress is still in this list. I'm super sad. Rusty is still in this list too, but I mean, it's kind of it's expected though. Like if Nightmare Mermaid is still gonna be in this list, Rusty's still gonna be in this list. Nightmare Goblin is still on this list, which makes perfect sense. It's just a free card. Oh boy. Well, there goes your card dragon plays. No more Ib the World Childless Jessiar. Wow, that's insane. They really went into this. And then Tempest Magician, I don't even know what Tempest Magician does. Let's take a quick look here. I need to see what Tempest Magician. I've like heard of that name. I think this was a card that I was like highly anticipated to be pretty good because of the Dark Magician stuff that just got released. Tempest Magician. It's this guy. What did he do? 1/2, 1 more non-tuner. Spellcaster type monsters. When this card is synchro summoned. What? One or more. Non-tuner spellcaster type monster. When this card is synchro summoned, place one spell counter on this card. Once per turn, you can discard any number of cards. Place one spell counter on a monster you control for each card you discarded. You can remove all spell counters, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. I can see why this card was I can see why this card made its way to the list. Oh man, that's just another FTK that they wanted to get rid of before it became a problem. I can respect that. I have all the respect for that. Let's see what else is in it. No! I'm so sad. Oh, they done broke my heart. Oh my god, they hit Taleo, man. Why you gotta do me dirty like that? Ah, jeez, man. Salomon, that's practically it for them. I don't think there's any real way of for them to really come back after that. Because now you just really have gotten rid of anyways, for any realistic way for this deck to kind of push for a strive. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. They want to get rid of all the major decks that's been around for a while, and so might as well hit the thing that that creates the extension, right? I mean, Salomon Great Sally was always just a Salomon Great based card, but sad days for them. As I thought, this one you kind of saw this one coming. We saw this one coming like a ban list or two ago, and after a while, we just kind of dealt with it. But it's great to see this card. Brilliant Fusion completely out of the game. This one is definitely preemptive for the new rules in April. This absolutely have to be preemptive, and I think this is also the fault of like Shadul's maybe. So Ah, jeez, this list is insane. There's a lot of card movement. We're not even through the ban list, like the forbidden list. We got what? 8 cards, 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Makes you wonder which card got out of this ban list. You know? Oh, this is gonna be. I'm nervous. One of my decks were horribly struck with that Stalio. So rest in peace, Salomon greats. Mobilize, engage. This is where the disappointment falls really, 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 really freaking hard. How are you going to release a reprint of this card 3 or 4 months ago and then ban it in the very next list? That's just a sad life. Sad life for Skystrikers. That's practically it for them. And I mean, it's a sad day for me because I finally pulled the card and I was like, oh, I could probably use it in some fun, creative way. And I started using it in a fun, creative way. Now there's no point in trying to use it. Okay, so that's it for the forbidden. Wow. Woo, that list is absolutely insane. That's just a forbidden. I didn't even got into the semi-limited or the limited list yet. It makes you just wonder, like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna be the next big thing in the next 3 months or whatever it is? All right, guys. So far, Skystrikers is dead. Salomon Greats is most likely dead. Orcas, I don't think they're completely out. You don't want to count them out quite yet. Pendulums, maybe they can still stick around. Their consistency is shot a little bit more without Electromite, but maybe they can still kind of hang tight. They've kind of lost their whole tier 1 super dominant force type of deal a long while ago, so they might just kind of stick at rogue status. But some of the other cards like Azathoth, the Brilliant Fusion, I guess those are just kind of preemptive. Azathoth, we were just kind of waiting for it, or we were waiting for it some time ago, but I think we all just kind of got used to the card. So, but it's great to see that it's no longer in the game. That's one less headache to deal with. All right, let's jump right into the limited, the one-ofs. You can only have one. You can still only have one of each forbidden one card in the deck. That's no surprise. Danger Nesty. This is kind of to be expected with a lot of the danger cards. The danger cards have always been very, very brutal. So an archetype in which it says you could always just draw a card and it's completely splashable with no restrictions whatsoever. Why hadn't this happened earlier? Well, better late than never. Pancratops. What? This card was a decent out to a lot of things, but I guess it was the fact that it's a free summon and it just kind of additional resources, or you could just out it out. Might as well put what's that, Reclusia. Might as well put Reclusia on this list then. Ah, that's amazing. Endymion. Okay, well, now you definitely know that Pendulums is completely out of the race. There's when you've gotten rid of Electromite, you hurt Pendulums. Now you're getting rid of the boss monster. Now you're kind of killing them. Oh, geez. Now this is gonna force anyone that wants to play Pendulums. This is gonna force them to play very, very strategically and conservatively. And we're approaching a format where conservative behavior, it's just not gonna work out. Oh, you know what I missed to see? I wonder. Yeah, card's still banned. I'm not surprised. It's always been a hot topic when it comes to these things. All right, so let's see what else is on here. Disaster. True King. I gotta see this. Hold on. Because I know the last time I played against a True King that made its way to this list, it was just not the greatest thing in the world. Ugh. Masterpiece. Hated this card with a passion. Disaster. What does this card do? If this card is in your hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand and or face up on the field, including an earth monster. And if you do, special summon this card. And if you do that, and both destroyed monsters were earth, you can also look at your opponent's extra deck and banish up to 3 monsters with different names. Why are they bringing this card back? Come to think of it, why didn't they ban the what's that one field spell the Mech Knights use? Oh my god, they've missed the mark on this one. I really do think they missed the mark. With different names. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon one non-earthworm monster. I don't know. I don't know if that one's safe to come into the game. I feel like True Kings is gonna be taking over this this next format here. What else is on this list? Card of Demise. Saw this one coming. Card of Demise is just so much draw power and so much draw like card advantage for the decks that can exploit the fact that they don't realistically need a hand. So it's good to see that if True Kings is gonna get some extra muscle, they lose out on a lot of draw abilities. But I mean, there's still cards like what's the it's a pot of something. I don't remember what it was. Pot of this one, Extravagance. I mean, so you still have cards like these that kind of get you by, but then I don't know, man. This one, I can get that. Dragonic Diagram. This is the card they should have hit years ago. Golly. Every time any player saw this card touch the field, you knew you were going to be in for a ride. So, all right. I can now respect the fact that they've brought back Disaster. All right. I can now respect that fact. So you've cut their draw power and you've cut their search power. I can back you on that one. Into the Void, completely understandable. They're just getting rid, or not getting rid of, but they're just like restricting a lot of draw power, which is interesting. Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice. It's this one. Target 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 5 into the deck, then draw 2 cards. Why was this card banned to begin with? Huh. Makes me wonder. I mean, like, yeah, it's a free draw too. You get to restore like your monster's resources, but a lot of monsters nowadays aren't like that's not the key resource anymore. Unless, actually, Thunder Dragon still being a thing with Titan. I don't know if this card is a good idea to have in the deck. I don't know. This one's just kind of resupplying Thunder Dragons a little bit. This is also lightweight resupplying True Kings. I don't know. You're giving and you're taking, but I don't know if you're doing it fairly here. Sekka's Light hit. That one's a hit to Thunder Dragons. I'd assume because literally that's the only archetype that uses that card. Red Reboot. You were just convincing people to use back row cards. Why would you get rid of back row cards? Well, you've missed the mark a little bit on that one. So, all right. Well, that seems to be the limited list. So, a lot of preemptive hits basically for the upcoming formats. Now we get to see what I scrolled a little too far, but I didn't see what was going on there. Now I guess we get to see what's going to happen in the next couple of months. Deep Sea Diva was limited. And then Tour Guide of the Underworld. Okay, you know. I guess you can welcome Mind Control. You can only have 2. I mean, I guess it's not gonna really hinder you or hurt you. I guess your chances of drawing is gonna be a little bit less. So I guess it's not gonna be too rough. It's not gonna be too sad. It's not gonna be too light. So, I guess. The semi-limited list has always been kind of like a very neutral point. It's just one of those things where you kind of like wonder why there's a semi-limited list until the dangers came out. Then you can kind of like, oh, okay, that's why. Mind Control, I think as a card should have made its way to the limited instead of semi-limited. It's a little too much. It's a little too much. But I mean, I guess we could see what it's like in the semi-limited list. All right, guys. Moment of truth. The thing that's like probably and arguably one of the most important things of life here. What's coming off of this list? Let's find out. Oh, this is going to be so nerve-wracking because the right cards and the wrong cards can come off this list. Dark Dad is off the list. Lady Debug is off this list. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to hit Salomon Great. And then you're just going to bring back Lady Debug. I guess you're trying to keep them. You're trying to keep it as fair as possible. I guess I can back you in that. Morphing Jar number 2. Damage Juggler. Tribe Infecting Virus. I mean, Damage Juggler to begin with should have never even been on this list for a long time. Like, for as long as it's been on this list, shouldn't really be on there. Like, we have every other hand trap in the book. Why was Damage Juggler on this list? Kagari is no longer on the list. Well, I mean, you got rid of Engage, so Kagari can come back. Book of Moon, finally off of this list. And because they got rid of Azathoth, they think it's a great idea to bring back Rank Up Magic Launch. Well, they still got rid of Rusty, so I guess this is kind of fair. I don't know. I can definitely see zombies benefiting this, and I only say zombies because zombie Lightsworns is probably the only deck that can send stuff continuously to the grave, and in which fast tracks your access to a lot of these things. So, but feel free to chime in the comments below if you can think of any other decks that can benefit from these moves over here. Solemn Warning and Soul Drain. I can definitely see Solemn Warning. Soul Drain, I'm not a big fan of dealing with a bunch of Floodgate cards, but I guess if we have to have them in the game, there you have it. Whew, a lot of movement in this list of cards here. I didn't think we were gonna see this much movement. I didn't think they're gonna hit it. They just slapped us up against a brick wall basically when they were building this whole thing together. So today what we've learned is Orcas got hurt really badly, but we don't know if they're down for the count. Salamangreats got hurt pretty harsh, but they also received some resources that, in all honesty, might be okay for them. So it's okay. Skystrikers, rest in peace. That's about as far as that one goes. True Kings, welcome to rogue status, maybe. If they can really like push beyond their or at least my expectations of them right now, they might be tier 2, tier 1 most likely. And then a lot of preemptive strikes for April. But then they're gonna have a list in March. Why? Is it maybe because you want to see where, with removing these cards, where the format's going to be before April? Or is that just how the dice rolled and you wouldn't want to make a ban list at the same month that you're changing the rules of the game? Huh. It's going to be an interesting couple of months. Very interesting couple of months. I encourage a lot of you guys to keep a close eye on what's going to be dominating, what's not going to be dominating, what are the chase, where's the value hiding, especially as we get all these new sets coming out. It's going to be very interesting to see how everything unfolds. Thunder Dragons, I almost forgot about Thunder Dragons. Thunder Dragons, I think they're still in the game. So we might still be seeing the same decks competing. Just might. But I can tell you this much. Some tier 2 decks just probably made their way to tier 1 with these guys. And then some road decks are probably tier 2 until everything balances out. But this is this is natural. This is always going to be in nature when these ban lists when ban lists like this comes out, and really defines what the future or the next couple of months of the game's going to be. So we'll have to wait and see. Aside from that, I want to thank you all for tuning in for this live reaction. This Banlist has definitely got me blown away, and it's definitely got me thinking about a lot of things that I wanna make sure that I could probably be okay with. As I'm sure as a lot of you guys are probably trying to find ways to be okay with as well. Aside from that, thank you all for tuning in and watching the show or the episode or the video. If you want to see more content like this, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, or just check out the Twitch channel, link in the description below. Without further ado, this is me signing out of YouTube. At least we're going to continue with our shenanigans on Twitch. Like I say, if you don't want to miss out on anything, Twitch, link in the description below. Take care, YouTube.